Hello, my name is Safir Ayu Ramadhani. Today, I would like to present a critical analysis of one part of the constitution of the Kingdom of Norway and compare it with the constitutional system in Indonesia. The pattern I chose in Article 100 constitutional freedom of expression. In the Constitution of Norway, Article 100 states that there shall be freedom of expression. Every person has the right to speak freely, express opinion, and receive information. The Constitution also explains that freedom of speech is important for democracy, the search for truth, and individual freedom. In addition, the government must create conditions that support open and public discussion. I think this actually is very interesting because freedom of expression is one of the most important elements in a democratic country. Norway protects this right strongly through its constitution. Citizens can criticize the government, openly participate in public debates, and express their opinion without fear as long as they do not violate the law. However, even through freedom of expression is protected, there are still some limits. The Constitution says that restriction can be made if there are strong reasons, such as protecting children, privacy, or public safety. This means freedom of speech if Norway is not absolute, the government still has authority to regulate speech in current situation. From my perspective, this system has both strength and weakness. The strength is that it creates an open democratic society where people can participate actively in politics and social issues. Citizens feel that their voice matters and this encourages this is the government. On the other hand, too much freedom of expression can also create challenge. For example, misinformation has space and online strike can spread silly through social media. Even though Norway has regulation, the government still faces diverse cultures, placing freedom and social responsibility. Now, I would like to compare this with Indonesia. In Indonesia, freedom of expression is also protected by the Constitution as prescribed in Article 28, paragraph 3 of the 1945 Constitution, which states that every person has the right to freedom of execution, assembly, and expression of opinion. In addition, Article 28F explains that every person has the right to communication and avoid information using or avoid channels. This shows that both Norway and Indonesia recognize freedom of expression as a constitutional right, but constitution also consider democracy and human rights as important values. However, there are significant differences in implementation. In Norway, freedom of speech is currently broader and more open. Criticism toward the government is commonly accepted as part of democracy. The legal system strong protects journalists' activity and ordinary citizens when express opinions. Meanwhile, in Indonesia, freedom of expression sometimes faces limits in practice. One explained is the Electronic Information and Tracing Law, or the ICA law. This law was created to regulate digital communication and prevent crime. But in some cases, in the been criticized because it can be used against people who criticize public officials or express controversial opinion online. As a result, some people in Indonesia might feel afraid to speak openly on social media because the worry about legal consequences. Another difference is related to political culture. Norway has a high level of public trust in government institutions and strong democratic tradition. Meanwhile, Indonesia is still developing in democratic system after experiencing authoritarian rule in the past. For the process of protecting freedom of expression is still evolving. In my opinion, Indonesia can learn several things from Norway. First, the government sought traditional legal protection for freedom of speech will still mainstream from public order. Second, law over common must be fair and not selective. Third, social should be education but responsible freedom of expression, especially in the digital era. However, Indonesia cannot completely copy Norway because the social and cultural conditions are different. Indonesia is more diverse in terms of attractivity regions and population size. 3-4 regulation may need to be adapted to Indonesian conditions. As conclusion, Article 100 of the Norwegian Constitution reflects a strong commitment to democracy and human rights through the protection of freedom of expression. Compared with Indonesia, both countries regulate right constitutionally, but there are differences in implementation and political culture. Norway, them and structures are more open and mature democracy environment with Indonesia is still blends freedom of expression with social stability and legal control. Thank you for attending.